Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna do another series, a new series, which will go by the name Bad Cards, and it's a series where we take the worst cards by win rates. Recently, we got a data dump about, they said, win rates about all cards. So we're gonna take the cards with the least win rate and try to make them fit in a deck which should be competitive. So today's cards will be Starving Mob, and which has the lowest win rates of them all. And what I want to try to accomplish with that card is something like a deck, since we have to make the cards shine, right? So the Starving Mob, first of all, has a non-play effect. So we want to focus on that, and also yes, it has some resources denial, and but probably it's a bit weak as like cards like Embargo were, or for example the Herd of Rats, because now Embargo was buffed, so that the Embargo waits until a resource is gained if your opponent has not any resources. So Starving Mob does not have that, and so it's still a bit weak. But we can, if our opponent is boarding resources, especially now, it's a bit difficult to find deck like those, because one of the most competitive ones were the Vespitales with Merchant Guild and Corruption, but those cards were nerfed, so probably right now the only counter to those kind of deck is the Olive Rat decks. So as I say, the resource denial is strong against Olive Rat's decks. But yeah, so given all that, still we will try to make the cards shine. So let's jump into the deck construction. So first of all, I chose Mogesh for this because we kind of want to be an aggressive deck. We are aggressively denying our opponent resources, so we still want to be aggressive in that sense. We don't want to be tempo or value or control, if those are existing terms in World of Omens. It's a bit of a card game on its own. You can't really apply all the theory that you learn, quotes, from other games. So, but yeah, again, we want to be aggressive, so we want to focus on playing those cards which has on-play effects and then sacrificing them. For that reason, first of all, let's try to. I will try to fit 2 copies at least of the cards into the deck, so that you see that the card is somewhat central or a key card into the deck, and not just a fit that a card that you put in and you don't actually play, so that you actually bump up its win rate, but you don't actually play into it in the deck. So it's just a worse version of some other decks. So no, at least two copies of those. So 2 Starving Mobs. Then I kind of like an Overseer in that for that reason, because we double all the cards that trigger on play. Also Scavengers is kind of nice. Rat Catcher probably to refill our board. Also with Overseer it becomes kind of a feast, and it's better since we want more allies into play. And then probably Orphan Gang, Cold Panners. So first of all, I will try some rough sketch of the deck. Then we will adjust even on based on the reliability of the deck. So now we want magic generation. So how do we accomplish that? Probably, probably Boar Unguent, and we want to go Herd of Boars. But it seems kind of clunky. Fertility offer, a Rite of Brood. I mean, that could be an option. Or we could go heavy on the Rite of Passage. So first of all, we are like building our own board, and then we sacrifice soul with Rite of Passage. That could be kind of an interesting idea. Yeah, why not? Let's try this. But then we need card to play. So what could we do? I would probably go for a Board Fetish also, or a Sacred Tortoise. Let's probably go for the Sacred Tortoise. over the gold banners, I guess. Probably not the. I don't know. Those are all like cards that you can't really take out because the gold banners will help you on the economy. The orphan gang will help you on removing early threats. Ratcatcher refills your board. Scavengers is very nice to get the magic. But yeah, probably since we are playing the Sacred Tortoise, we can probably get rid of the gold banners, and we can fit a board fetish. So right now, as you can see, the main concept of the deck, as I said, is to play cards, to play allies, build your own board, and then sacrificing all of those with the Rite of Passage later on. The Sacred Tortoise and the board fetish are to help you win the game when you get finally the Rite of Passage. I'm kind of thinking about also fitting a Scrivener plus Ceremonial Dance. So for that, probably the Scavengers and the Orphan Gang would go, and then we will just really have the Starving Mob to like slow our opponent. But yeah, for now let's try this version first on Grandmasters, and then we will switch to multiplayers if someone is available and test this deck. So probably try to do three matches for each version of the deck. So let's start with the Starving Mob, I guess. Let's play our like targeted card for this series. Okay, so it already died. We can probably go for a Ratcatcher and we redraw that, so that we are slowing down our opponent. Bishop, so now we do need the Orphan Gang, but we can't actually heal Bishop. So yeah, let's still play the Orphan Gang. We don't get the trigger from the Serpent Seal. Okay, we are already in a bad spot. Should probably wait, or do we Scavenger? No, probably wait for the Overseer plus Ratcatcher, which we do redraw. Okay, so let's try this now. So the Supplicant dies. Again, that was a misplay, but the Starving Mob is weak for that reason. Now we could have denied the 2 resources, but he didn't have any. Okay, we do get the Conjured Argoret, but unfortunately nothing to sit for. Should probably wait on the Overseer, and yeah, that's already. Okay, as I say, the 3 runs per version of the deck. To like see all the problems of this deck. Cards that are unnecessary. So right now the problems are that the economy does not build up as expected. So we are kinda slow. We'll go for a Starving Mob. Sacred Tortoise plus Rite of Passage. So right now really, it's really hard to get to the Rite of Passage. We don't have economy to get to that point. Okay, we do redraw the Scavengers, that's kinda nice. Okay, now we can grab the Sacred, the Rite of Passage. And we can also go for a Sacred Tortoise. Okay, so you see now the chain is starting to build. I don't know if you play the Starving Mob, the Rite of Passage will feed you magic and then it sacrifices the Starving Mob right away. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we do have kind of a chain going. So the Rite of Passage is okay. I do like the synergy, the combo. Okay, now we also see the Overseer. Kinda unnecessary right now, so we are probably just gonna dump our Starving Mobs. Because we did deny more resources than needed. Okay, now probably he's building a pretty threatening board. So he can probably build up and be more the controller rather than the aggressor. Okay, we do see another Rite of Passage. So let's go for another board fetish. Probably the Overseer first, but it doesn't matter since the Rite of Passage will sacrifice that anyway. Okay, so we see that we do have that chain that I imagined. Okay, the right pattern, so we do. Another time Rite of Passage. Okay. I kinda like this chain, but it feels like something is missing. Also, we didn't put the child, I don't remember the name. That is kinda interesting. And yeah, that's a good game. Okay, another try. Okay. So we will start with both of those. And that we would have liked the starting mob sacrificed. We can go for another one. Probably we do. We can't heal both. Probably now it's time to feed. Yeah, sorry. That was not as expected. Yeah, we probably wait. Still wait. Also, the Overseer is kind of bad because it dies if you have the Rite of Passage already active. So I don't know, you probably have to stick it on board and have it not die. Kinda difficult. Let's probably grab the Rite of Passage right now and try to withdraw that next turn. The next turn. Okay. Still wait. And now we can do our combo, so we go off again. Probably that catcher. Right now. Okay, so we do kill all our allies. We're doing that, but we also kill the opponent allies. Next turn we can rebuild our board with the Overseer first, and then Red Catcher. Okay, Sacred Tortoise. Build the other boards, and we also can deny resources with the starving mob. Now we are building a board. Now we can sacrifice all that board for the passage. Catch. Okay. Probably wait. Alright, let's seal the Overseer so that he doesn't die to Skull. He dies anyways, both of those, but yeah. Okay, we kinda want to wait right now and build a big turn. Probably play the Overseer and sacrifice that to kill the Rat and still wait. Okay, Sacred Tortoise, another one. It's gonna be interesting. We want to play that first. Scavengers, Catcher, Overseer which dies, so probably first grab another Rite of Passage. Another Rite of Passage. Okay, so right now we are more like a Barbarous deck, and the Moggish ability is just another addition to that kind of strategy. So yeah, it feels pretty bad. Wait, Rite of Passages, and that should be game, probably. Okay, so the main problems with this deck, as we see, is that probably the board fetish is not needed. We just need the economy, and then the attacks comes from Magesh itself. The Orphan Gang does not synergize with our own strategies, Scavengers. So we want to Another thing is that we don't have economy, and that this deck is trying to accomplish multiple things. In the same time, and it's not accomplishing any of those. So right now we kind of have to consider if we want to keep the Overseer, or if we want because right now the Overseer is just to get a bigger rat catcher and an additional triggers for all those allies, but mostly because of the rat catcher. So you probably want to remove this package for repopulate of those for now. Also the Scavenger, Orphan Gang can go. And for that we could go for a Scrivener plus the Ceremonial Dance, I think. So the board fetish can go for another Sarger Tortoise, I guess. Yeah. And so yeah, now probably we would want to remove the starving mobs for the Sacrificial Lamb, probably. But again, this is a series on the starving mob. Like we can build a board of starving mobs by reducing, slowing his resource, generation. But yeah, and we sacrifice those every time. But for that, the Sacrificial Lamb is just stronger. I don't know, probably also building a starving mob board and then sacrificing all of those with Rite of Passage. So probably like first build a board, and by doing that we slow our opponent stuff by keeping those starving mobs alive, and then we sacrifice all of those with the Rite of Passage, and also use some in the meantime to keep the board of our opponent into balance with Rite of Passages, because we are kinda slow. We first of all need to grab Ceremonial Dance, then Scrivener, then probably the Sacred Tortoise, then the Rite of Passage. So we build the economy, and then we do a bunch of stuff. Yeah, this seems kinda clunky. Or probably we could go something like Rite of Passage first, into Sacred Tortoise, so that we speed up our economy, and then do the other stuff. So probably a first turn starving mob would help reduce the speed of our opponent. I don't know. This seems kinda clunky. The starving mob does not feel so well in this kind of strategy. So probably should have to switch heroes. Mogash is not the right stuff to do. But yeah, let's see. Let's try this first. So we are up against a Matrix which is kinda angry at us. Okay, so we just wait right now. Very, very aggressive Matrix deck. Also the Magic Steel feels kinda bad. We can't play the Starving Mob since the Seduce, because of the Seduce. So we kinda have to wait for the Rite of Passage. Okay. The flower just dies. Well, let's play Sacred Tortoise, this one. Let's grab the Rite of Passage right now, kill the Cutpurse, I guess. We're kinda being threatened lethal. We can grab the Rite of Passage for next turn. We are very, very close to dying. One of lethal. Because of this crown, yeah. Okay, so now we can recover a bit. We can also go for the Sacred Tortoise. Another one. Probably grab the Ceremonial Dance. Yeah. So here, Starving Mob, two of those. Okay, So we do kill something, and we also deny something. So now we do have the repopulate, so this seems kinda okay. Let's go for the starving mob. Oh yeah, that's interesting. If you do have the rite of passage, you can't really repopulate. Okay, so now for now we just heal. We do have the ceremonial dance. So you have to first play the repopulate and before the rite of passage. So yet again, this is an anti-synergy. Kind of very tricky. Let's start them off and just wait. It's unnecessary now. At 5 damage. 6 with the assassin, so we're still safe. Another rite of passage, so right now we probably heal, I guess. Okay. Yeah, the infiltrates are very threatening for us. Also, it does have the starving mobs. How do we heal? Yeah, we really don't have any ways to deal damage, really. So this seems like a concede, and also I will not try to test this deck anymore. We lack a win condition. So yeah, probably Mogesh is not the right playstyle for this deck. First of all, I would have liked the on-play staff synergy, but we did see that it did seem kind of clunky. We were trying to make multiple things that do not fit well with each other. So what probably we could do is an Ezra ally based deck where we fit also the starving mob. So Liet could work. Let's try probably Ezra. Yes. Yeah, let's go with Ezra. And we could fit I don't know what I was doing here. So we can probably do like resource denial with Herd of Rats also. So we go double Herd of Rats. Rats. Probably Rat Ointment over the Herd of Rats. Probably one Herd of Rats, because going first turn, Herd of Rats plus Rat Ointment is insane. So we have this very aggressive and resource denial shell. Then we also grab the starving mobs. And then probably the Overseer. Two of those, plus the Rat Catcher. Very aggressive ally-centric deck. A Repopulate could be nice, since Ezra will always have an activator. So probably one less War Rat. Another. Don't know. We are mostly a resource denial deck, so the aggressiveness comes later from the right tournaments. So probably also Scrivener. No, he doesn't redraw the art, so yeah. Yeah, probably Repopulate, I guess. And another Rat Catcher, just because why not? Let's probably try that. So we are also, it could be nice to have like a Shepherd, but we don't have really economy. So probably also go to Banners. So many cards that we want to play. I don't know, since we have double Overseer, double Rat Catcher, probably Repopulate is not as strong. So again, or we either dump this package, or we dump the Repopulate. So for now, let's try more the Aldi based version. So we go for the gold banners instead. And yeah, let's try these, I guess. So like again, my thoughts are like, first of all, we tried the on-play part of the card, so Mogesh would have benefited from that, because you just play them and then sacrifice that. as you have seen with the cycling from the rite of passage. Now instead we are focusing on the effect itself, which is resource denial, so we are building a deck for that reason. Okay, kinda unfortunate that we didn't get the main combo Earth of Rats plus the Earth elixir for the rats, the rat ointment, yeah. But now we do get that, so let's also play Earth of Rats and kill the bunker. We can't because of the militia, so let's just wait. The bunker very threatening. Okay, the Overseer is kept alive, so it means a rat catcher for us. Misery. So let's go for rat catcher. We did see the rat ointment, but it was too late, so let's try again. Okay, so now we do see the main combo, so let's go for that. And we also can do it double time. So yeah, pretty insane board for turn 1. And we can really lock out our opponent by just doing that. Right now we are denying 2 resources every turn. So with the Starving Mob. Yeah, so right now it's kinda locked out of the game. And yeah, this seems like a win. Game. So we did see that something like this is possible, but we were insanely lucky with the restocks, so let's try this again. So we didn't see the Earth of Rats combo, so we can probably start with economy, I guess. It's always a good place to start. Now we can establish our first Starving Mob, and also we deny 2 resources. The second one is always nice. I did it. Did he just banishing us his own Yarkan? Okay. So now we can probably play a rat ointment so that we can deny even more, but then we can, if we redraw that, we can stuff. Okay, so now you see also another main weakness of the deck. You really don't have ways to deal damage. We were lucky to create the berserkers, so also let's remove 1 health from that, so that if two retaliates hit the gilded warriors, we are good to go. Yeah, because of the warding circle or the other defenders, it was important to reduce his health first. Let's go for Art Catcher, which will refill our board pretty well. Catcher, but we don't have any other allies. Okay, Rat Ointment. Let's go for that. So let's play a bunch of rats. Rat Ointment. I'm kind of thinking about what's the name? For every head, one resource. It's a defender, which is kind of nice, and also gives us resources. Because currently we are just trying to transform the rats into more rats, and that's the only way we can actually deal damage. And it's a kind of slow process if you don't start with an insane start as we did before. Okay, we are really close to lethal. also a stampede work. But yeah, so we do need ways to deal damage. So probably the Herd of Rats is useful to get that insane star that we did see. And I don't know the statistics, the probability of that, but it's kind of low in my opinion. Well, maybe getting those two is not that unusual, but getting those three, it's very, very unusual. Okay, probably good partners has to go. Let's try as you say, the Shepherd. Should we craft it max just for this video? Let's think about that. Then what we need to do? Stampede or what? Because we do establish board control. And if we do, what has to go? Second Overseer, probably. Or maybe we can go, we remove another Overseer, and we go double Shepherd. So that we do have because it's very insane to redraw a Shepherd from a Ratcatcher and all the other Overseers. We do keep the resource denial going with Overseer plus Surfing Mob, and we do have the insane start and aggressiveness later on. Yeah, let's probably go for a Shepherd build like this. And also, since we are running 2 copies of that, let's also do this. Quality content over here. Yeah, we do have finally the maxed Shepherd. And let's try this deck another time. Okay, so we didn't get the Herd of Rats. And we can probably play it still. We don't care about the Serving Bomb going out. We do get the Herd of Rats plus Shepherd. Also, I didn't see all the other cards, just the Serving Mob, but I do feel like the Shepherd also has not a satisfying win rate. So we are getting 2 bears with 1 stone. So we did establish aggressiveness and also the Herd of Rats. Another time the Appointments. It doesn't feel bad to play the Herd of Rats. We're probably weak against cards like Mayhem and stuff, but we do have the refill thanks to the Overseer plus Ratcatcher. I don't know. In this game, it didn't seem useful, the Serving Mob, because we have such a strong package of Herd of Rats and War Rats. So yeah, let's just keep the pressure on. And really, this is kind of it should feel very bad to play against this deck. You are basically locked out of the game. So let's try again. Okay, so right now we didn't see the Herd of Rats again, but we can probably go for a Serving Mob to really start the removal of resources early on. Okay, Stampede, I guess. Like, it's very fast. Okay, now we can start our chain of Herd of Rats and stuff. So yeah, let's go for that. And we can probably wait for the Overseer plus Ratcatcher. Probably the Overseer first, since we do see a Stampede, which is kind of threatening. The Overseer has more chances to stay alive. Okay. So now we can go for the Ratcatcher to redraw the War Rat. Okay, now we can go pretty insane with the Rat Ointments. Okay, I was trying for the lucky proc of the Wishing Queen. Also, basically, with the Overseer, Herd of Rats becomes a Starving Mob. So, kinda redundant to have the Starving Mob of the Herd of Rats. Yeah, again, Starving Mob really doesn't fit well with anything really, but this could work. It's a very insane resource denial deck. Let's go for even more Earth of Rats. Game. Probably what we still miss is a way to refill our board, which is not from the Ratcatcher. And also running 2 copies of Ratcatcher, the cost really starts to build up, so probably a Ratcatcher with the same cost of a Repopulate, it's probably best to just run a Repopulate itself. So yeah, because also you need 2 Overseers to make the Ratcatcher equal to a Repopulate. And not really, because you are sacrificing 1, so you just need 1 Overseer to get the same amount of allies. But yeah, let's try this one last time, and then we could probably go for the multiplayer. And also again, the Repopulate is very interesting with Ezra, because we always get an activator. Okay, now we can start with a Shepherd plus Earth of Rats, since our opponent was kind enough to give us an Usury. Second one is coming. So we can also play an Overseer, and then a Rat Ointment. Let's see for the flower, if we get that. And our board of rats. And the Shepherd will be kind enough to, if it survives, it will be kind enough to give us talk really to give us the resources off of those. Beast is coming down. We do redraw the Shepherd, which is very good. Again, we're not playing the Starving Mob, but just because we need that into the early turns, and we didn't get that into the early stocks. I am not mistaken. Okay, so we did establish our own board. The Shepherd is having an air time to stay alive with the Olive Rats and stuff, but the next turn, thanks to the replay of the Usury, we should be good to go. We did also redraw the Shepherd, so we are still. Let's play the Repopulate right now, because I don't want to bump it out with the Rat Ointment. Okay, and as I said, it's pretty interesting that the AI that survived out of all the tests, because I don't know if you know, but for what I remember, basically the Grandmaster tries against your deck like 10 decks, and the one that performs the best is chosen. And so it was the Holy Rat deck which performed the best against this deck. Which is kind of interesting, because as I said in the intro, the Olive Rats deck is the... I didn't see that we had little, but yeah, again, the Olive Rat deck is the only deck that still wants to keep all those resources, and we are feasting on those decks with the Starving Mob and the Earth of Rats. But yeah. Okay, so we did see that this deck is kind of interesting. The Starving Mob still could be replaced with something else. It's not really that strong, but I don't see what else could be placed if not for the Starving Mob. I don't know, probably a Stampede or a Carnage as a win condition. Yeah, probably. But it's kind of nice to have multiple ways to deny your resources, your opponent's resources early on. So yeah, let's try this on multiplayer and see. Okay, so we are up against Isadora for what seems to be a CNPC Prayer or some Malediction, an Olive Rat deck. So again, we are pretty strong against that. We can probably start with a Starving Mob, finally, to deny the gold, and also play an Earth of Rats. Deny even further next turn. We would probably go for an Usury, I guess. Yeah. So we can grab the Shepherd. It does kill the Earth of Rats, but now we can shield our Earth of Rats. Sorry, the Starving Mob. We could kill the Starving Mob, but now we can shield the Earth of Rats with the Shepherd. Yeah, it does ignore intercept, so kinda interesting. We can play another one. Did the shepherd didn't give us the resource? Probably the gold. Yeah. Charge. 2 are the rats. That's okay. The next turn probably the shepherd will die. Still it doesn't, but there is no point in him being kept alive if the other rats are not. So now we do see the usury. Really unfortunate that we can't go for Overseer plus Red Catcher. Let's see if we do get a Proclam the Wishing Coin. We don't, so probably it's better to go for the Repopulate. And also Appointment. Another usury. So we are closer to getting the Red Catcher. Ah, another one, so we can go for Overseer and Red Catcher. That was kind of misplay because the Shepherd could trigger off the Overseer, but yeah. So now we'll be locked out of the game for quite a while. Addiction, yeah, very hard deck to face. For our strategy, I mean. There are the rats. Should be killed. Okay, so now we just need to build a huge board, but against a malediction really we can't do that. And so we will gain over time value with the only rat. Probably the best we can do is the shepherd. That's basically for health. Yeah, we ended up being locked out of the game, and he's just gonna win. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. No, now we are up against an Endazu, and a normal Endazu with the Yarken. We can probably... we have a favorable matchup against this one. So let's try this. And also we do get the insane start. 2 rats, which is not that great if you think about it. It's just a Zamjigar without the DL sacrifice. Which, yeah, okay, it's interesting, but not that insane. The more you think about that. So next turn, the Veil Warden is gonna pop. If he doesn't chose to, does heals. So we can probably grab a Shepherd. Okay, so the Veil Warden seal does not pop. Again, we still the plan is to get the Shepherd to shield our other squishy allies before the Veil Warden pops, but yeah, probably now it seems better to pop the Veil Warden until it becomes too much of a threat. Probably want to pop the Warden, so Rat Ointment will give us the last war rat that we need, but this will pop out our Shepherd, but we do have the second one, so it's fine. Let's play also the other one. So if we have 3 Heart of Rats, we basically lock him out of gold. So yeah. Seer also kinda nice. Rat Catcher, I mean. Pretty basic is my deck that we see. Just defend the Ergot Flower. Still the Warden doesn't pop. Let's see if we do get the proc from the Wishing Coins. We do not. Let's keep the Heart of Rats for the Repopulate and go for the Overseer. Should probably kill 1 Heart of Rats since you're okay. Also upgrading the Gilded Scribes could do. I don't know. Probably want to go for the Repopulate, I guess. On 1 Overseer, so it was kind of a waste. But at least we do have the Repopulate now in the deck. And yeah, oh, this seems kind of bad. Again, we don't have ways to deal damage. We are too much focused on resource denial. And we can't convert that damage into... that word control into damage. So probably a Stampede again to the work. Or even a Carnage. Probably it's best the Stampede since we don't have activations of that. So yeah, this is recuperable for now. Yeah, sorry, I wanted to try again the Stampede. So probably the Overseer with the Heart of Rats is interesting because basically this becomes a starving mob. Probably we do have to cut 1 starving mob, but at least we do have 1. So I don't know if that counts, if that is a bit cheating. It goes against what I said in the beginning of the video. But yeah, let's try this. And we should go for a Stampede. Probably another 1 is good. Again, we either want the Overseer at Catcher or Repopulate. I kinda like the Overseer at Catcher. So probably let's go for a second Stampede over the Repopulate. Let's try this. So we do have also the Aggression. Okay, we are up against another time with that Indazu. But I don't know if the General was in first try, so now we are a bit more aggressive. We should start with another Rats and wait for the Stampede. Also, if you do have the coins, probably the Vergel 6 or the Second Charm are the best options. Okay, so next turn we will probably kill the Heart of Rats, but we do have the 4 Rats to compensate that. We can also try to go for Rat Catcher to grab the Heart of Rats to really seal him out of the game. Very heavy resource denial. 2 out of 3 gold on average. And by 3 gold I mean the 3 cards that is normally drawing. Okay, so we can kill all this stuff with Stampede. So really Stampede was a necessary piece, the missing piece of the puzzle, I mean. And it's really bad for him because you have to, yeah, you can kill the Conjurer target, but you either kill the Rat Catcher and you don't really like ease the pressure that is on board, or you do kill the Heart of Rats, but the Rat Catcher just withdraws that. So yeah, the 1 magic per turn is not that strong. Now we probably don't want the Stampede to placed out. So you probably go something like this, and we do keep the other appointment. So yeah, another Stampede on top is very good. Let's see if we will get Lucky Proc, not. And yeah, this point is really irrecoverable for him. Yeah, okay, so that was a win. Let's try it again. Okay, now we are up against Ametris. We do see Seduce, so it's kind of an hard start for us. But we could probably wear the Rats, I guess. Probably don't care about him getting the Overseer, so we could probably also go for the Overseer as well. And also with an I1 gold, which is always nice. Okay, just get the Overseer, so now if we do get a drop from the Wishing Coin, that would be nice. If not, probably Stampede, because we don't care about him keeping the Overseer, but we would like to have the Overseer. Also, kinda bad for us that he did get the Stampede, but he does give that back. So let's just wait. Now we do see another Herd of Rats. Touch and Bomb. Can easily counter that by building our own board. Probably Rat Ointment. So now the Waylay doesn't kill one of our stuff. Frame. Okay, nothing dies. Nice. Let's see if the Wishing Coin procs. It does not. See the Stampede, but now we have to recover our own board. Now we finally see the Starving Mob shining, because finally remove one gold. Also, he is very high on gold generation, so we will have resources to deny to him, from him. So let's do that. We want to Stampede everything. Probably not, let's just wait, so that we lock him out. Let's see what does Banishing Gust. It's here. So right now, we probably want to wait on the War Rat. Right now we are kinda locking him out of the game. So let's first deny him everything, and then we can start from that. Okay, another Rat of his own. Here, but we do see the Impersonate. It's kinda bad, so right now we probably want to remove everything from him. Let's go with this one. Okay, you can also kill the other Rats and deny him the resource denial, and wow. So now he impersonates one of our own cards. Rats, it's fine. Let's play the Herd of Rats just to mitigate one damage. So we did get the not upgraded Rat Ointment. Probably also another change that you could make is remove the Rat Ointment, the least upgraded one. But yeah. Okay, so we still want to go for that, because with the Stampede plus our own face, we would have killed all of his stuff. Also the Conjurer Dark Rat does one more damage. So now we did reset the board. Now we are looking kinda good. We just need a Rat Catcher to refill our own board. Paired with an Overseer, that would be very nice. Let's go for that. Probably want to keep the magic for more economy. Okay, we also did get the nice proc from the Wishing Coin, so this means more allies. Next turn is probably still gonna go for the Wagon Bomb. So now we do have a timer. Oh, that was a misplay. We should have gone for the Wagon Bomb. Let's kill the other Rats, yes. Seduce is not very strong. Also we do get the Stampede, so this seems like a good game. interestingly. The Valdorian bomb is not that weak, so winning against a deck like this is very nice for us. Okay, so let's start the aggression with the Stampede. Yeah, now he's pretty much locked out of the game. For Herd of Rats. Oh yeah, that was on display. We should have played the Overseer first. Kinda forgot about the Red Catcher, but still we do see all of his resources. Arson resets a bit the board, but it's still kinda hard for him to recover. Then we just need a Stampede, which he just sealed. So we did see that this deck can definitely be somewhat competitive in multiplayers. It is true that the starving mob is only in one copy, but we do see that it does have its own usage into the deck. It is not a dead card, you want to play it sometimes. It is just that really it's such a niche card that probably revolving a deck around it is not possible, and you just want to add it one-off into some kind of decks, and I do feel like this deck is probably the most viable for him. Some other change that you could do, but it's just a matter of preferences. You could probably swap the second Rat Ointment because it feels kind of bad to have the Herd of Rats at 1 gold for something else, like I don't know, an Orphan Gang to be more aggressive, or a Gold Panners to start off your economy faster to get the Shepherd probably. So yeah, this feels like a not so great card. The Herd of Rats is kinda mandatory because of the possibility of the Herd of Rats plus the most upgraded Rat Ointment for a first turn, 2 damage and 1 resource denial. It's also very nice there that Ezra redraws all those rats in the early turns, so that you can lock your opponent out pretty early. The Starving Mob helps on removing the resources that he generates on the first turns again, so that you don't have to wait on the Herd of Rats to remove resources from him. The Overseer again is very nice because it basically turns Herd of Rats into Starving Mob, so basically a 3 gold play if you have the Overseer on. And the Rat Catcher does refill the board. Shepherd, we didn't kinda see it much. Probably with the first run, the first game against the Olive Rat, which he was pretty weak against. And yeah, the Stampede was, I don't know how I did forget about it. I did mention it when I was building the deck, but then I forgot about playing that. We do really need something to be aggressive and remove, basically, not really to put aggression early on, because we basically win out of attrition, I would say. We just lock our opponent out of the game from his resources and then slowly and grandly kill him. So we are not really the aggressor. But with this Stampede is very important because we can reset the opponent's board. Because he can regenerate resources also from their board, and so we need to remove that. And then we basically deny all the other resources that he's gaining with the Herd of Rats and the Starving Mob. Another side note is probably that against the Spitole, it's pretty difficult to remove all these resources because it can generate resources on turn by his cycle card. So you can't really do much about that. You can remove the resources out of the board with the Stampede. You can remove the resources that he's gaining, basically locking him out of 3 gold or 4 gold if he pockets a coin. But you can't really do much about the cycling and the resources that he gains from the cards in his deck, like Avespidole does. So yeah, this is probably the only counter, but other than that, it's a kinda interesting deck. Probably a bit toxic, because you basically don't make your opponent play anything. But yeah, that's my final version of the deck with the Starving Mob in it. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya.